Welcome back to the show. We're live from Midcoast Studio, midcoast.media. For more information, you're going to leave him frozen up there. Travis Sherrill frozen in time in the screen in a Chicago Union Station, it looks like. We've got Barb and Carly Lawrence here hanging out for another hour of the show. Big thanks to everybody for tuning in. And thanks to Buzz's Hawaiian Grill for being part of the fun.
Oh, it's so good.
Right? What'd you get when you went?
I got the bowl.
Masubi. No.
And I got
Okay.
Masubi. And now, I wish I would have gotten like 4 of the Masubis.
Right.
I really do, but I got like just
Surfer snacks.
just the bowl situation.
So good. Yeah.
Really
Highly
delicious.
recommend the Poke Bowl. Check out Buzz's Hawaiian Grill. You can check out their Facebook page for locations throughout the city. They're great partners of ours, so make sure you support them. Eat some fresh food, everybody. Buzz's Hawaiian Grill. Again, check out the Facebook page for locations throughout St. Louis each and every day. And do I get an IMDb credit for being on Food Truck Nation and an interview on the Food Network? Should I think I should
You
get
probably
that.
should.
You are the expert in IMDb credits, and Gardner and I are pining for ours. So Carly's the in-game host for the St. Louis
for
Blues.
another one day.
Were they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. They focus on St. Louis. Carly, you're a big Fortnite player.
But I think Barb is when I'm not home.
Barb plays Fortnite. Fortnite gave away $3 million to its first ever solo champion. You still calling them nerds, Barb? 16-year-old from Pennsylvania won $3 million. He is now in charge of his parents' allowance. My dear God, look at that setup. You can't ignore it. There's literally stadiums for this, gaming things. $3 million for playing Fortnite. How do you feel about this, Gardner?
Well, parents can't yell at their kids anymore if they truly believe in American capitalism. You don't have to. It's kind of bad. But if they do, if they're going to preach that, then this is a route to make money, make lots of money.
Code Red and Cheetos all day, baby.
That sounds wonderful.
Would you date a professional Fortnite player, Carly?
A gamer.
If you got $3 million from
Right.
playing it, maybe.
Yeah, you kind of have to, don't you? Yeah. It's insane, man.
Yeah.
And this is nothing new.
Set
There's
yourself
big
up.
prizes all the time,
Yeah.
but
This was
16 years old.
bound to happen.
What's the the first dumb purchase you would have made as a 16-year-old? Can you guys
With
think
how
of
much
that?
money?
If you got $3 million and your parents are like, listen, first million's on you, you got to put $2 million in the bank, and we're literally not going to tell you what to do. What are you buying at 16? So you probably just got your driver's license. It's
Is it a
1977 if you're Gardner. I think so. I think it's a car. You think that?
I'm trying to think of 16-year-old me.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I would have been talked into either an unbelievably fast car or a ridiculous lifted truck growing up where I grew up at 16. You know what I mean? Like dumping $100,000 into basically a street capable
I
monster
would have
truck.
just been more reasonable.
I wouldn't have. I would have done something real dumb.
Got like an Audi.
And, okay.
Yeah.
You would have went sensible.
Mm-hmm.
As a 16-year-old?
Yeah.
In O'Fallon?
Yeah.
I think you're giving yourself more
I
credit
don't
than
really
you deserve.
fit in O'Fallon.
Okay.
I don't really fit anywhere necessarily.
Aunt Crystal, you fit in our family.
My brother kind
You
of.
fit on a scooter.
Yes.
Yeah.
My brother had the Camaro. So
Your brother's first car was a Camaro.
From what I recall, yeah, that he bought, yeah. I think he had 2 of them throughout
Kind of a badass car,
our
huh?
days there.
Right.
So he kind of, it was required.
Right.
It's actually in the city charter that each family has to own a pickup truck or
Mhm.
a Camaro.
Got it.
It's in the city charter, I
Yeah,
believe.
that makes sense.
I double check on that, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Now, that might have changed. There's been a lot of new money flowing into O'Fallon in recent years. So
Right.
that.
So if it was the year
there's
2000 and I got $3 million, I'm probably getting an Escalade with 20-inch rims. At the time, now 20s are like stock wheels, but I may have done that. Maybe that would have been my move.
I wouldn't have done the IROC Z. I
Really?
wouldn't have done the Mustang.
But cars as a 16-year-old is your thing, right? You're not going to go on some
Not
trip.
me. I would have got new golf clubs.
I probably
Really?
would have bought clothes.
Forever 21 would have been just rated.
Probably.
At
There would be-
16. Was I
There
wearing
would be-
Hilfiger at
There would
16?
be no more. Half of Victoria's Secret would have just been cleaned out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. What are dumb
I would
things
have gone
you
to
liked when you were
Dillard's
16, Carly?
and hit the polo section up like you wouldn't
Oh,
believe.
the buckle would have no more
Oh, I-
34 jeans in stock. for sure.
Grandma, you want me to pay $130 for those jeans? There's rips
Yeah.
all in them.
Grandma, it says "Lucky You" on the zipper.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And now I buy them from Old Navy at like
Right.
$20 a pop.
Yeah.
Because I like the way they fit.
My dad would be like, "Do you really want another pair of Doc Martens, Chris? Is that what you need? Is that what's happening? Is that a 17th
I'm
T-shirt
thinking-
with 4-leaf clovers on it?"
I
Okay.
really think I would have loaded up on a really nice set of golf clubs at that age.
I'm trying to think too. Like, I didn't even drink at 16, so I probably would have went to some stupid ass, like, whatever the furthest Blink-182 was playing. I end up in Tokyo
Yeah,
at a
okay.
Blink-182 concert when
That's
you're
something.
16,
A
right?
trip.
Yeah.
I probably would have moved the family out of the duplex.
Oh, you guys were in a duplex.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then into
Where did your dad's weight set go?
in the basement.
Oh,
That's where my mother hung the laundry.
all right.
He
On
did. He
the-
worked out at a gym though. Like,
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
my brother had a weight set at home, but
Mm.
Dad went to the gym.
Got it. So we're going Forever 21 for Carly.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Trying to think. When did you graduate high school?
2008.
2008. What would have been popular at that time? You would have got like a what we would think is a piece of shit TV now. It would be like a super thick flat screen at the time, right? And
Yeah.
then you would have had to pay a bunch of money. Like that would be like $4,000 for what would be a $300 TV now, right? You'd have to get one of those. Other
'cause
things
I
in
was
2008.
thinking right away, like at 16.
A
and
really nice blonde dye job.
what would I? So that's mid 90s for me. So if I go to a concert, it's probably, hey, I'm taking a trip to see Oasis.
Okay. Yeah.
If I had to
See, but that wouldn't be that embarrassing today. That'd be like, oh, that was a fun memory.
I saw them before they split up and tried to get back together, back and forth, F-bombing each other, back and forth, and their brothers. So if I tried to go your route, I probably would have tried to do an Oasis concert somewhere. Maybe in England.
Right.
Maybe see him in Manchester.
I also, at that point, too, at 16, I would have been the equivalent of, I can't say it, Josh Kroenke, while he probably shouldn't have played at Mizzou, he had a good career. I would have been the very obvious rich white kid on the end of a bench of a Division I program because
You would have bought
of
your
the
way
dunk-
onto the bench?
1,000,000%. He's like, he can
That
dunk, but
really
he's not
seems
that
like a
good.
waste. He's better than you, though.
Of course, he was better than me. But I'm saying I would have been that more ridiculous because I would.
Okay.
Who knows how much they donated? But I would have done like a big lump sum up front to ensure. I'm like, I don't know, I can
That
dunk.
seems like a waste.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You got at 16 to be able to tell people I was going to get to be a scholarship player at Mizzou because I built
Okay.
an extra column with my $500,000 donation.
All right.
I think that's something I'm looking into.
That's a lot of money.
I
out
was
of the
really
$3
into
million.
basketball and really dumb.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, and that's part of the equation here.
You have
too,
to
right?
remember, 16.
That's why you have to put yourself
You're like
in those
53 now.
shoes.
Right. It's been a while.
So that's why I'm trying to think of what I liked, what I was
Mm-hmm.
doing at that point.
Or do I go the route where I take up one of the Baker universities that sent a letter to the high school, the what was it, Rockhurst of
The
the world.
Mid-American Nazarenes.
Correct. And then I buy them a really nice bus, and I'm the greatest player that ever played there. Do I take that route?
No.
No, I want to
You
sit on
still
the
want
bench
to,
at Mizzou.
you still want to go that route.
That's how that works. Where would you have forced your way on to an athletic field? Actually, you were probably good enough at dancing or something you could have done in college. Did you do it in college?
Yeah, I danced in college.
Okay. All right. Well,
And
Carly's
the tone
better than
in
all
which
of
she
us.
responded to
Yeah,
that.
she's
I
like,
mean,
well,
I ended up.
was
I
literally
moved
a
on.
college
I
athlete.
moved on to be
idiot.
a professional dancer.
Literally a professional dancer for an NBA team.
Is this a real
She's
question?
like, you fucking losers would do what with your money? Yeah, that's what it would take.
I'm talking about getting in golf clubs and
Carly's like, yeah, I actually realized my dreams. I didn't need a Fortnite $3 million.
sorry, Carly, we're not all talented.
What would you do? Be an in-game host for a professional hockey team that won the Stanley Cup? Well, yeah, buy your way to that.
It's cool because all the clothes that I did buy when I was 16, I am now trying to sell to Plato's Closet on a weekly basis.
has it come
because
around
I
where it looks
need
vintage?
money.
Is there a
Oh, that'll
brand?
do it, too.
Is there a particular
I
brand you're
need money.
noticing?
I'm not paying attention to the brand. I'm just paying attention to.
To the style.
Has this
Plato's
come back
Closet.
around again?
Yeah,
Let me.
that's true.
and Avalon Exchange, whatever. So I'll take it to Avalon Exchange. Whenever they don't take, I'll take that rest of that to Plato's Closet. Whatever they don't take, I'll take it to another Plato's Closet. And then whatever they don't take, I'll take it back and then put it in a laundry basket at my dad's. I'm waiting for the next season
cycle of
to happen.
Do you ever worry when you're selling clothes back that, like, if it's a multiple location store that they've, like, called ahead, be like, look out for this host girl trying to sell us some what do you call it?
Some Juicy Couture sweatsuits.
Some overall shorts.
From 2001. Yeah.
They're perfect. Yeah, this girl's got an Aaron Carter T-shirt. Yeah. She thinks it's worth $50. She won't stop harassing everybody at our Loop location.
Were you in on the overall phase?
I have like so many overalls, so let's not talk.
That was like
shit
6
about
months
overalls.
ago.
No, was that when you were younger though too?
So I was not.
Or
yes,
had that
it was
passed?
literally crisscross made that a thing.
Okay.
I feel like for
because
people our age,
I owned overalls.
I had overalls that I would have like dirt on from doing labor.
Yeah, I'm talking like stylish ones. I had stylish overalls. I had Guess.
So like as a child, maybe, yeah, like a little tractor on them or something.
Because I went through a Guess phase where I was wearing like, this would have been in middle school, probably 7th, 8th grade, where I could not stop asking for these Guess rayon shirts. They're like a print shirt, but they were like rayon, real light, soft material. Oh, these are, I'm going to be this guy.
Were you a Jersey
And then
guy?
my friend Paul and I went to a dance in 8th grade, and we both wore the same Guess rayon shirt.
And one of you had to go, right?
We just tried to avoid each other for
Nice.
the...
Spilled cream soda on it, didn't you?
Because I'm like, I'm not taking this. I'm
Yeah.
tall. I was taller than him
Okay.
at that time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like I was 5'10" and a half in 8th grade, I think.
That would have been
But I
tall.
was like 130 pounds.
Interesting. And then you just stopped.
Yeah. Well, I made a concerted effort to gain weight at one point.
Good for you. I'm proud of you.
I had run for so long and I got tired of it, and I'm like,
It
no.
worked.
So I remember sitting down with my roommate at the time and said, I'm going to start gaining weight. Let's go get some spaghetti and meatballs.
That's hilarious.
And it started then.
Oh,
And
another
I
thing.
haven't stopped.
Another thing I would have spent a lot of money on, creatine. Creatine got big.
Yeah?
When I was 16.
I had
For sure.
threatened to take creatine and not work out. I wanted to see
But
what
you can
happened to
get
my
it
body.
from a steak. I mean, it's a natural
I just
thing.
wanted to see if I.
Yeah.
I wanted to see it. That I was threatening people that I was going to do that.
How dumb. And people may still do it, but at the time, like, it was supposedly like it would bond better if you drank it with sugar. I would just take a giant spoonful of creatine, crunch it in, and then wash it down with orange juice every morning my senior year of high school. Terrible. When I was 16, I would have bought a Supra and put those stupid underlights and decals from Fast and the Furious 1 on it. This is going to go to Twitter as well. I'm going to post something about this. See if we can get some good
That's
responses.
the thing. It's hard for me to remember exactly what I was
You
doing.
got to remember what was cool and what your idiotic mind would have had you doing. I would have been like, I'm going to take my parents to Florida.
Right. I would have been
the same
like,
place we've already been 3 times.
I'm going to get my parents a house with an in-ground pool.
Yeah.
Like that probably would have been my thought process then.
Yeah. I would have been like, no, Grandma has one.
Like my perspective was limited I grew up in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Like it was limited.
Right.
There wasn't a ton
Barb's
of diversity in O'Fallon.
Right.
Like I was protected from the world or whatever there is out there. I had no
Barb is
perspective
literally,
on anything.
if you're listening at
Yeah.
home, Barb is now drinking out of Carly's
Thirsty?
glass. This is so great. This is the best moment on this show
thirsty.
ever. And I love it. I love every minute of it. I love that it's also over Carly's phone. It's
My brand new phone.
right.
My brand new phone too.
She's selling jean shorts, but she's got a brand new phone. Look out, everybody. Barb, wet that whistle. So there you go. So we've figured it out. We would all have a few dickhead purchases, right?
I would definitely purchase like a meet and greet with Paris Hilton.
At the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe today too, because she is quite an icon.
That'd be interesting.
What is she
Paris
up
and
to?
Carly out on the town.
Has she been in the news at all or anything?
Not necessarily, but that movie
She still lurks?
American Meme that's on Netflix that kind of talks about how social media has become like this whole thing. Like it really it talks about how Paris Hilton like was the beginning of that and making social media like a business and making money off of it. And I never really realized that until watching that movie. I'm like, oh wow, she really.
It's crazy.
She did that. Like she's a lot smarter.
reality
She's
TV
more smarter than
and-
people realize that she is. She really, honestly.
I do remember it went around that I guess her phone number got leaked, and we would get drunk and call it. And
she ever
leave
answer?
voicemails? No, never got an answer. But definitely between getting
What is this number from Farmington, Missouri?
right? Between getting that number and being given the Cardinals reliever Ray King's real cell phone number, we had some good times getting drunk at the age of 18 and 19 and calling folks. So, wish we could do that today.
I'm trying to think of the last time I heard.
Now you can just DM them.
Mm-hmm.
Paris Hilton
Or we could just book them.
brought
Ray
up
King
in
on the
front of
show.
me.
You would.
And I can't think like of her in the news or anything like that. Like it's been years since I've even thought of her now.
She's in it. Check
I
out
know what
Daily
he's-
Mail. They talk about her when she does something.
I know what he's
Daily
looking up on the laptop when he goes home later. It's been a minute, Paris.
Oh, I'll do that in the office.
A Night in
That's fine.
Paris.
You'll look up the night in Paris in the office?
Well, why not? What are you guys gonna do? Report me to HR?
That's Barb.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's
She's our
Barb?
new HR director.
Barb and I are tight. Be good.
Okay.
You got my back, Barb? Don't bark if you got my back.
Barb has Pet One St. Louis West's back because she's had their treats, their food, a
Loves
gift
them.
basket. She loved it. Big
Loved
shout out to Lynette and Nick, locally owned. Great business. We gave away a prize yesterday during the dog-centric hour. Fresh, local, delivered. That's right. Pet Once, St. Louis West, here for you. They'll deliver food right to your door. Great food for your pets in the St. Louis area. And they've got the CBD stuff, too. So be sure to check out their website for all of the wonderful, wonderful products they have for your pets here in St. Louis. Lisa says Carly is pretty.
Oh, thank you so much, Lisa.
Carly, what do you have left? When does I know you're going to be hosting you're going to be a host in Farmington, Missouri.
Yes.
Big announcement there for the Blues, Brews, and Barbecue Festival. It's a fall festival. You're going to be doing some emceeing. Anything else on the calendar coming up we need to know about? When do the Blues duties start back up?
Is
that
the end
September?
of September, yes.
That's coming up quick.
Yeah.
You excited to get back to it?
Oh my gosh,
Have you
yes.
missed it?
Very much so. Very
Right?
much so.
You think it's going to be different coming back as Stanley Cup champions? Like, I think it's going to get ratcheted up a little bit.
I think they're probably going to hire men to carry me in on a chair.
Okay. Because of your involvement in the Stanley Cup
yes,
win.
exactly. So I'm pretty sure that's
Okay.
going to happen. And then they're probably going to fan me with palm trees. It's
Go on.
probably going to be a whole thing.
Okay.
But, we don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll just do a quick note on this, Gardner, since it happened yesterday. Trade deadline, Major League Baseball. I know Travis was real revved up about this. Our friend Ben Fred called out the Cardinals front office. Other things happening. We don't have to go super long on it. Very quiet day around the league. I think Zach Greinke getting traded to the Astros is the biggest trade out there from
Most
the
certainly.
Diamondbacks.
Yes.
But the Cardinals make one move. They dump Jed Jerko to the Dodgers for a reliever that won't even pitch this year, more than likely Tony Cingrani. He's a lefty. Not much movement.
He's a free agent after this year, too.
He is? I
Yeah.
thought they had a year of him next year.
I
Are you
don't think
sure?
so, yeah.
Well, maybe I'm mistaken then. So if we're looking at that.
Maybe.
And
Does it matter, though?
It sure doesn't. It sure doesn't. People pissed. Here's my one point I'll make. Mozeliak came out a few weeks ago and said, show me something and we'll make some moves. He put it on the players and coaches. They go on a hot streak. They're literally in first place now. And he essentially did nothing. Your thoughts?
I believe it was back at winter warm-up.
And I don't know what was out there to get gotten, but it feels real dirty.
Oh, there was Robbie Ray.
Mm-hmm.
That was one to get gotten.
Mm-hmm.
There was a number of other pitchers that others got, like Trevor Bauer.
Right.
Reds did make that move.
It's really weird, too.
I don't know what it was going to take to get a Syndergaard or to get Madison Bumgarner. Neither of those got moves. Zach Wheeler with the Mets was mentioned, and I think Mark Saxon reported that the Cardinals weren't willing to part with Tyler O'Neill or Harrison Bader in those discussions for what they considered 11 starts.
Why did Carly just do the Tiger Woods like excited fist bump thing? Tyler O'Neill or Harrison Bader? Say one or the other.
Tyler O'Neill.
Dang, get those muscles. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is he shorter than you would think, Tyler O'Neill? Don't act like you haven't danced with him at Wheelhouse, Carly.
Who, me? Shorter than me?
No, I'm asking if Tyler O'Neill's shorter than you would think.
Oh.
He's pretty jacked. I don't think you can be 6'6" and be that jacked.
Is he looking up how tall he is? How tall is he?
Oh, no, I
Can
was
I
looking
guess?
up a quote.
I thought he was too.
I did
No,
too.
I wasn't. How tall is he?
I'm going to say 5'11".
Yeah, that sounds about right. He might be shorter than that, actually.
Really? Listed at 5'11".
Okay.
Nailed it.
He's
So
around
5'9".
that. Yeah, I don't. He could.
5'11"
could
with cleats
be-
on.
He's got the spiked hair,
There you go.
so maybe that adds to it.
So thoughts on this overall? Are people okay to be mad
Well,
about it?
here's what I was going to say. Mo had a quote saying, "We realize the importance of 2019. We're trying to win now." That was before the season began.
Carly's pissed. by
That's
the way.
after Paul Goldschmidt is acquired, and I'll take that into account here too. But you brought up relevant information when you said, "Hey," and this is how players look at it. If they believe they've done something to deserve some help, then you kind of let them down. And I think they have in this regard. And I referenced it on Twitter yesterday as basically Ja Rule describing Fire Festival. Oh, wait, hold on. We got to adjust this.
That's not fraud. I would call that false advertising.
That's what I would go with. That's how I see it right now.
Did you see that
'Cause
documentary, Carly?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think I mean, I don't see how it's not a failure, how things went at the deadline right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand there's effort there. I understand you're trying, but at some point you're going to part with prospects to get something. And if all you care about is years of control, and I know the Toronto Blue Jays GM's hearing it because he was like, "Well, I gave up so and so many years of control and got this many years back." And like, how do you? The question is,
Made me
how do you
so
sell
mad.
that to fans?
Right.
Like, fans don't care about that, and especially when you're on record saying 2019 is this is what we're shooting for. You don't get to change that. That's out there, and you failed at doing so. And you had an obvious hole to fill in the starting rotation. You've had some good pitching here lately too, but you have an obvious hole, and you can address that, and you didn't because you were unwilling to.
Give up your toys.
Yeah. So then, if that's the case, then we're gonna wait to 2022, 2023 when we see these folks. That's fine, but that's not what your message was at the beginning of the season. That's my point.
Right.
I understand you wanting to hold on to them, but that's not what you said at the beginning. That's simply what I'm pointing out here.
Yeah.
That's not trying to hold someone accountable or anything along those lines. It's here's what you said, here's what you did. They don't coincide with what you said earlier in the year. What's changed? Why would you do that? Do you value these people this much? Well, do you not have a draft every year where you can get more prospects? Of course you do. So there's holes to poke in their argument, whatever it might be.
Hey, get out there, prove everybody wrong, and go on a fiery streak and, and win the division. We'll shut up.
And I don't even know that, results. Like, you can't be necessarily results oriented. Like, hey, if they made the playoffs, then everything's okay with that. No, I still don't think that approach was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Now you might say, okay, they made the playoffs and they still held on to these prospects. You might say that down the road. That's different. I'm talking about what you said this year and how you acted at the trade deadline. Because you don't trade for players in August anymore.
Right.
There's no non-waiver trade deadline stuff going on anymore. That's not a thing. It's gone. And this is the first. So this is done. It's all done.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what you're left with.
There it is.
I thought that was unfortunate.
Aunt Crystal breaking it down. That's very knowledgeable, Aunt Crystal. I thought you were just into to spells and the like. This is kind of strange. Wow.
Been referred to the bridesmaid before.
Ooh. Wow. Okay. So I guess we'll see what happens with that. Real quick.
I did have a hockey thing I wanted to bring up.
Oh,
because
please.
Deadspin, I think on Monday had it, and I saw the story at KMOX.com.
Mm.
But Deadspin put out a Freedom of Information Act request for the FCC complaints of the Stanley Cup celebration, like on NBC, like right after they won the cup. So, fucking yeah, fucking whatever, players are celebrating one after another. But they got a hold of some of the complaints that were directed to the FCC about them letting the words get across on the television. So I just wanted to provide a few for you, if that's okay. This is from someone in Onaway, Michigan. Stanley Cup playoffs at NBC. F-bomb dropped multiple times. This is not acceptable. Children are watching. 10-minute delay? 10-minute delay.
10 minute. As everything's being covered on Twitter and everybody sees it before. Yeah. Okay.
Lombard, Illinois. NBC once again allowed at least 10 F-bombs. Clearly audible. A few loudly during primetime coverage of the 2019 Stanley Cup Finals on Wednesday, June 12th, 2019. Federal
My
law.
birthday.
And then he points out, he or she, not sure. Federal law prohibits obscene, indecent, and profane content from being broadcast on the radio or TV. Enforce this law. Levy hefty fines. That's all in bold and caps. And
Bold caps?
And make them public to ensure future compliance, or this deliberate, disgusting show never ends. Okay.
What do we suggest weed for these people? Like, how do we fix them? This isn't an issue that I need to deal with.
Greenville, Tennessee. In watching the broadcast of Game 7 of the NHL Stanley Cup Finals last night, NBC showed several St. Louis players celebrating their championship that they had just won. When showing players celebrating, NBC chose not to use a 7-second delay and allowed vulgar language to be broadcast several times. Players were broadcasting using the word fuck, and many children watched this game. NBC has chosen not to use a delay for several years now when broadcasting championship celebrations and showed little remorse in their actions last night.
Remorse?
They should be reprimanded, given their multiple past violations of obscenity
These are
guidelines.
These are direct descendants of the Puritans that came over, right? Like, what? Who are these people?
And here is one from Bell Canyon, California.
They think mayonnaise is too spicy. Those kind of people.
During the post-game show of the Stanley Cup on NBC, the network broadcast numerous instances of hockey players and even training staff. Oh, my God. Did you yell fuck
Carly,
on NBC after?
answer the question.
Wasn't me.
Okay. Screaming the word fuck, except they used F, exclamation point, at sign, pound sign. They did it that way. I was absolutely horrified by hearing these terrible words from professionals. There were also a couple of middle fingers from the stands.
Oh, boy.
I had to take a shower after hearing those
Oh, my
foul words
gosh.
because I felt so dirty and violated. The NHL needs to make sure its players act in a manner that is respectful of law enforcement.
What?
Okay.
How is
Somewhere
that?
else, real quick.
I didn't see any.
Respectful of decency and promotes respectful treatment of women, similar to the NFL and how all of their players act.
How all of them
The
act.
players cannot be blamed for that. That is
No.
not. I mean, they won the Stanley Cup for the first time in history.
I don't
You
care.
cannot tell those guys to watch their mouth.
I-
That's NBC's fault for having microphones on the ice.
And I don't even care.
Like-
if
It just
NBC
doesn't
does
matter.
it
It
just
First
doesn't
of all,
matter.
yeah.
Let
what
it
kind of-
happen. It's celebration.
What kind of weak ass parent are you that you can't explain to your kid that this is a unique situation, and if I hear you saying what they're saying, you're going to be in trouble?
Right.
Now the problem is, though, I see like dads at like a 10-year-old baseball tournament and they win the championship
Yeah.
on Sunday. The dads get together on the field with their fucking
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Right,
The kids
because
are
they
like,
learned
"What
it
are
on
you doing?"
NBC.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you for that, because now I need to take a shower from all that
Yeah.
ridiculous moral high ground that's so fake. Every single one of those people that took the time to write a letter have done something unlawful or unscrupulous.
One day I'm gonna find moral high ground on something.
What would you?
I don't have-
Where do you think you will?
Don't know.
I think Carly could with pet ownership at this point. She takes very good care of her pet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe she could look down on others that do not. Maybe you kind of cast aspersions on people that don't let their dogs drink out of their glass of water.
We should usually use this as a straw, but we didn't have one.
That's true, right? And
She
has
can
her own
use a
metal
straw?
one.
Metal.
She has her own metal,
Metal.
one, right? She's
Not-
environment
Yeah,
friendly.
she likes turtles.
I can't use the paper straw.
Why not?
It
Makes
sticks
it
to my
soft.
lip.
And it gets soggy.
It sticks to his lip. Have you tried it a bunch?
I tried it a couple of times, and the other day I was trying one, and it.
What were
I
you
don't.
drinking
The
out of
thing
it?
is, I don't normally use a straw. I just drink out
Coca-Cola?
of the glass. It was a water,
Oh.
and I pulled it away. I'm talking to someone, and the straw just
Just
sticks
stuck
there.
your-
Yeah, it happens every once in a
That's
while with a
hilarious.
cigarette
You got a straw. in your
because the
mouth.
cigarette one can be dangerous because if it sticks to the lip, if the lip's a little dry or something, and you pull away, you burn your fingers on the end of the cigarette. The straw it just sticks there, and I look like a fucking fool.
Yeah. That's tough.
So-
How embarrassing.
I know.
You usually look so masculine and star-like. Yeah.
So what it tells me,
This
just
one
don't use a
instance-
straw. I'm not going to use a straw for anything.
There's one instance, Aunt Crystal
It's the only time.
looked like a damn fool.
Yes.
Do you think it has to do with the menthol in them? It
With
dries out your lip a little more than a normal one?
I don't know.
We might have something here.
Because it's happened to me over a number of years of smoking.
Well, you think about that. I'll tell the good people about Getaway Carts.
I think I've already answered. But okay.
GetawayCarts.com. It's their website. Custom golf carts. They're part of the Carte Blanche movement. Hashtag Carte Blanche. Also hashtag Customize Without Limits. Local business. They're right in the Cherokee, Soulard, Benton Park area. Very, very friendly. Great customer service. Wonderful people. That's Getaway Carts. Right here in St. Louis, Missouri, supporting our podcast, as you should support them. You want to scoot around Soulard, you want to scoot around one of the neighborhoods in St. Louis, you go to Getaway Carts for your new or used golf cart, everybody. Gardner, anything we need to cover before we get out of here?
I don't think so. Let me
think so.
check, see if there's a video that I wanted to get to. Oh, you know what I did want to do? With Carly here? I wanted to show Carly my favorite moment of Travis being in New York.
Oh, great.
While on the show, like doing the show from New York.
Is it what I think it is?
It might be.
Okay.
But this, I don't know if she's seen it. Maybe she saw it on social
Now, Carly,
media.
you're not much of you don't really clown on people, especially Travis. You're very serious.
Never. I'm a very serious
So
person.
just want to brace for this.
Tommy Mosslander was in studio when this
Tommy
happened
the
as
intern.
well.
Yeah.
He was texting me last night. What were we talking about? Pokemon and something else. Can't remember. But here's the moment. I have video.
Sinbad's here, Travis. It's pretty exciting, right?
Can you give him my number?
No, I can't.
Why don't you guys have coffee?
Yeah, we have
Did you guys
coffee.
hear that he
yeah.
farted?
Did you fart? Was that what that was?
What?
He did. He did. I did hear that, and I thought it was just like a chair moving or a duck being stepped on. Like what? What was that? We had a live fart
What?
on air. The man. Oh my
What?
God. That was good for the
What's
audio,
that?
folks, too. You picked that was very easy to pick up.
I was told that we were having audio issues, so apparently this microphone
Let him
is pretty
fly
strong.
like that? Wow.
I thought we were having audio.
Oh. Oh.
Tommy's too observant. Let's not have
Everyone
Tommy on the
heard
show
it.
anymore.
Of course I heard it. I just thought, I was like, surely he's not a brute of that nature.
Yeah. You think Chris didn't hear it?
Yeah.
Come on
Come
now.
on. It just didn't register as a fart because I thought more of you as a human. Like, oh.
No one would do that.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Oh.
Show the first part of that one more time real
Wow.
quick, just so we can hear the...
It almost
I
killed
heard
Tommy.
immediately.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
almost
Tommy has
killed
heart
Tommy.
issues, and it almost killed him that he would be that brazen. Sinbad's here, Travis. It's pretty exciting, right?
Can you give him my number?
He leaned up. All right, yeah, we don't need to see any more of this.
Hold on. Let me try this.
The
too.
ego on that guy.
I'm gonna
Can
turn
you
up-
imagine?
I'm
What
gonna
a
turn
place
up the
of
volume
privilege
a
to be
little
able to
bit.
fart.
Yeah. What privilege would that be for him?
What in the world?
East Coast privilege.
Okay. that's
Obviously.
fair. Okay, I turned up the volume here.
Sinbad's here, Travis. It's pretty exciting, right?
Can you give
What a disgusting.
What in the world?
Would that fly as an in-game host? If he was hosting something, they throw to the Jumbotron, and then he leans up and he's like, Blues fans!
He even, like, he paused.
Sinbad's here,
Wait.
Travis. It's pretty exciting, right?
Can you give him my number?
He just goes right into it.
Can you get my number?
God, and the way he
No.
just the arrogance in which he just excused that from his body. Carly, I'm not a fan of that.
It was impressive that he actually answered the question
Yeah.
or kind of involved himself in the conversation immediately afterwards.
And he was trying to
I
pander.
didn't think you guys heard it.
Yeah, that part is impressive, but
Yeah. Barb doesn't even do
it was
that.
all unnecessary.
Right.
It was totally unnecessary.
I don't appreciate it one bit.
I feel disrespected, and
Yeah.
I'm not
And
even.
you weren't
his
even on
co-host.
live.
Yeah.
We'll let them know.
Guys, a quick reminder again, free Comedy Thursday tonight. We've got a great lineup. Show up, doors at 8, show at 8:30, karaoke after. The great Purdy B, Sean Don, Quentin Wilbert, and Matt Wayman, one of my favorites. He usually does that. We call it the Wayman spot. He's the dad, so he goes and he just crushes early and then he leaves early. You know what? He's giving up his family time for you to close out the show tonight. Again, Matt Wayman. I believe Meredith Hopping's going to host it. I'll be there. We'll have a blast. Come out. Get a seat early because it's going to be full once again, and we're looking forward to that. Big shout out to Southtown Pub. Try the smoked wings, everybody. I'll never forget Carly taking wings and putting them in her pocket.
I slit.
It was the best moment
I
of my
made a
life.
slit in my jacket to make a giant pocket on the inside.
Yeah.
That was the pork steak. That wasn't the wings.
Oh.
That was a different.
That's a
I wasn't
good pork
aware.
steak.
That was a different
Yeah,
day.
and they
It was
just
the
brought
pork-
it back.
Remember the pork steak eating
They
contest?
did?
He had an extra one.
They
I put it in my
just
bag.
brought it back.
Maybe I'll come
See,
by
at
tonight.
Comedy I'm not joking. They just brought it back.
I could use dinner.
Awesome.
I just you ever do a meal so too much in like 2 weeks or whatever?
Yes.
And it's a really good meal, but you've worn yourself out on it, and now you're disappointed because you've done so.
Mm-hmm.
I just did that with chicken tikka masala.
I've done that with that specific meal before as well.
It's
Have you really?
fantastic. It's so
Yeah.
good. I
Yeah.
mean, just the white rice and the tomato-based sauce and just nice. It's a great combination. And now I'm like, I don't feel like going there. I'm like, but it's really good. Why do I not feel like going there? I think I had it like 5 times in 2 weeks. And so now I'm pissed off at myself for doing that. So now I'm like kind of worn out of that. And I'm like, oh, what's the next one I'm going to do this with? And a pork steak sounds like a good way to go, especially in summer. I might as well overdo it now.
I
So
support
maybe
it.
that's the play.
I support that decision.
Now, is pizza the obvious? Like, have you ever gotten tired of pizza?
No, because here's what you can
Ever?
do with pizza is that,
You'll have pizza 3 times in a week.
well, yeah,
Not you. I mean, people in general.
I had pizza last night.
Of course.
But you can, I guess maybe it's a particular, dishes are made a lot the same way, but with pizza you can get different styles and different toppings. Like chicken tikka masala, it's just however it's created by a particular restaurant. The basics are still there. It may be so for pizza, but you get to change what those toppings are. So you could have all meat, you could have all veggies, you can have it just straight cheese, you can have thin crust, you can have more of a New York style. So you have more variety with pizza to not necessarily wear yourself out, where
Right.
a dish like chicken tikka masala is, here it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So it can happen, and I understand that, but that's if you don't dive into variety as much. And there's my breakdown on why you might not get tired of pizza.
I could literally eat pizza 4 days a week, and I
Yeah.
have no problem with that.
Mhm.
And now there's a keto version of it. I'll just eat it every
Is that
day.
what you do, keto? Does that
no,
have sugar?
No sugar, no grain.
No sugar, no
typically,
grain?
Typically.
Oh, I didn't realize there was no sugar in that one.
I wish your microphone went into your esophagus right now. Could make that happen.
You could. I have health insurance though, so
Good
it's
for
okay.
you.
Yeah.
That'll do it for the show today. Carly,
Still
follow
looking
her
for
on
a good
Instagram.
primary care physician if anybody knows one. Trying to get a wellness check.
He keeps asking Dr. Ed to give him a look every time they come in. It's getting a little weird.
I go to the local watering hole. Who's your doctor? Trying to get in. I had booked.
They all just have liver specialists.
I had called like a month and a half ago for like a physical because I get a free wellness check per year with health insurance.
He misses
I'm
the
taking-
warm touch of
I'm
his old
taking
doctor
advantage
on
of
his
this
pulse.
Obamacare before Josh Hawley tries to get rid of everything.
Mhm.
And so I called and I said, okay, can I make, I'm a first time, you're come recommended, I'd like to make an appointment. They're like, yeah, he's booked up with some physicals right now, but we can make an appointment. I'm like, that'd be great. So I'm thinking 2 months. At this time, that's like August. And they're like, how's December 10th sound? And I'm like, oh, this is what it's like. Why don't you put me down and I'll get back to you? Does this put me on the waiting list? They're like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So it's rather tough to just make a simple doctor's appointment for a physical these days. I don't like it. Used to get in right away. Like we were playing sports in high school. You would get it done like oh, let's call ahead. Couple weeks, we'll get into the doctor. Can't do that now. It's a disaster. I don't even know where to begin.
A lot of people got a lot of problems, man.
Yeah. So I just go around the local watering hole asking everyone who their doctor is and try and call them and see if they got time.
Well, we'll hope that works out.
We've
for
bumped it
everybody.
up to
That sounds
September
safe.
4th.
Right on.
Well, I just hope you make it towards then.
I
Barb,
do
if you
live
have
to
any
live.
recommendations for
miracle.
Gardner, let him know. Big thanks to Carly and Barb for sitting in today. Travis will be back in studio tomorrow, allegedly. We'll see what happens with that. It'll be a good time all around. Carly, thanks so much.
Thank you.
So excited for you. And guys, follow her on Instagram. Join the 10,000 other friends that follow her at Carly Laughs. I'm not kidding. There's over 10,000 people. It's awesome.
Jay,
I love
we need
them
some of the
all.
30% to get involved. We
That's
need
right.
to bump that up.
That's right. Jump it up there. For Carly, for Travis's Frozen Picture, for Gardner, I'm Chris Denman. We're back tomorrow live at 8 a.m. We'll see you then. Say peace.
Peace.